Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. Tasmanian Supreme Court judge guilty of assault and emotional abuse has announced he will resign imminently. His lawyers say he no longer has the moral authority to continue working in the Tasmanian judicial system, as the court heard a powerful victim statement from the woman he assaulted.
Gregory Geeson was found guilty of assault and emotional abuse last month, but has remained employed as a Supreme Court judge throughout the process, in one of the most highly respected roles in the judicial system. Today, his lawyer telling Hobart's Magistrates Court he no longer intends to sit on the bench, saying as a judge of the Supreme Court, he often dealt with people who came before him charged with family violence offences, charged with breaching family violence orders, and that he does not have the moral authority to continue sitting. The defence outlining how Geeson's well-being has been impacted by the case, saying the defendant has limited prospects of future employment and that he experiences an overwhelming amount of shame. Appearing via video link, the victim, who can't be identified, spoke about the difficulties she's faced during and after her relationship with Geeson. She told the court she's been unable to work for 8 months and has suffered post-traumatic stress and anxiety, saying, "I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. I've been scared to drive my car, concerned whether the car had been tampered with or someone was following me. I have lost my faith in the legal system." The government is considering legislation that would mean a judge could be suspended or removed if charged with an offence that is punishable by 12 or more months in prison. The bill has passed the upper house but still needs support from the lower house and is expected to be debated on when Parliament resumes next week. Geeson is expected to be sentenced on Thursday. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
The Prime Minister has put the rumour mill to rest, confirming Rebecca White will contest the seat of Lyons in next year's federal election. But the Tasmanian government believes she should resign from state parliament, claiming she can't have it both ways.
Labor's pick to run in the federal seat of Lyons has been dubbed by some as the worst kept secret in Tasmanian politics for weeks.
Rebecca White will be such a strong member.
It's been the honour of my life to represent this electorate. I grew up here, I'm raising my family here, and I'm very much looking forward to representing this community in Canberra.
The former state Labor leader officially getting the Prime Minister's endorsement over Brian Mitchell.
I want to thank him for the commitment that he's shown as a local member over 8 years.
Labor holds Lyons by a wafer-thin margin of just under 1% after the last federal election. But White says she's up to the task as Liberal candidate Susie Bauer aims to bridge the gap.
There's no doubt this is going to be a tight contest. I don't take anything for granted. This campaign will be won by the margin of our effort.
The PM's decision has drawn criticism by the Tasmanian government, calling on the state MP to stand down.
She should resign immediately. She can't have somebody trying to do 2 jobs at the same time. I don't think it works. I don't think Tasmanians would respond to it well.
White says she'll do so once the election date is called.
This is not uncommon. I've noticed across the country there are people from the other side of politics who are doing exactly the same thing.
With the national poll expected to be held in May, the other parties are beginning to eye off their prospects.
We plan to win at least 3 lower house seats in Tasmania and have a red-hot go at picking up another Senate seat.
There are certainly some seats in play in Tasmania, including the Senate seats where we think we can win too. So watch this space.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, absolute garbage and a power grab are some of the phrases Clarence City Council has used to describe an amendment to the Land Use Planning Bill. A proposed development assessment panel would give the Planning Minister more powers in development decisions. But Mayor Brendan Blomley says it would undermine the voices of Tasmanians.
It will remove community from planning decisions in this state. It is a ham-fisted grab for power by the state Liberal government to help out a privileged few.
The government has defended the policy but says it's taking public feedback on the legislation.
We're having that conversation. Let's see where there are parts that we can improve.
Hobart Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds, Kingborough's Paula Reich and Glenorchy's Sue Hickey have also expressed concerns. The operator of the jumping castle which blew into the air at Hillcrest Primary School wasn't competent, according to an expert witness. The engineer telling the court he believes his calculations show the ride wouldn't have left the ground if it had been properly anchored.
After a day and a half in the witness stand, the grilling of mechanical engineer Roderick McDonald is still not finished over his report evaluating the jumping castle and procedures which led to the Hillcrest tragedy in 2021. He maintains an engineer should have been hired to check over the castle after purchasing it from China and to advise on proper procedures, telling the court this would have cost between $1,000 to $2,000. Say a competent person had picked up this castle, the first thing they would have said is, hey, your anchors are undersized. Part of the Crown case is that despite having 8 tie-down points, only 4 pegs were used to secure the castle before it was ripped from the ground by a dust devil. According to Mr McDonald, if 8 star pickets had been used, it would have endured the event. He told the court the anchoring system failed before the dust devil even reached the jumping castle because 3 sides were unsecured, allowing air to force its way underneath and rip the pins straight out of the ground. Mr McDonald maintains Taszorb operator Rosemary Gamble was not a competent person to supervise the castle and staff were not adequately trained. 3 different manuals existed and it's unclear if any were provided with the castle. Miss Gamble downloaded one from the internet. Mr McDonald considered all to be poor but said they were clear on the need to find all tie-down points. However, defence lawyer Chris Dockray pointed to standards requiring manufacturers to supply adequate instructions to purchasers, saying there is a corresponding non-compliance on Miss Gamble's part with the failure of East Inflatables to supply the information, to which Mr McDonald agreed. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
The federal government is committing to spending big to save the Maugean skate, announcing millions of dollars for programs to improve conditions in Macquarie Harbour. But critics say the funding will just muddy the waters as the salmon industry waits for a decision on whether it can continue operations there.
The Prime Minister turning on the funding tap, looking to rescue both the Maugean skate and the salmon industry.
We want jobs and we want sustainability. It's not either or, it's a matter of how we achieve both.
$21 million will go towards improving oxygen levels in Macquarie Harbour. Another $5 million will expand efforts to breed the ancient species in captivity, with $2.5 million for environmental monitoring and community engagement.
This investment shows that we're serious about protecting the Maugean skate, but we're also serious about sustainability and jobs in local communities.
While the cash splash has been welcomed by some, others say there's only one move that can be made.
Labor should have come down today and announced that the fish farms would be booted out of Macquarie Harbour.
With the decision by Federal Environment Minister Tanya Plibersek on its future still pending, the announcement has also angered some in the pro-fish farming lobby.
We are hurtling towards Christmas and there is no clarity around whether that industry will operate in Macquarie Harbour into the future.
The federal government still caught in the middle of an increasingly divisive debate. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Target Tasmania is gearing up for a grand return, announcing it will be back next year, although in a revised format. Organisers are confident they've done enough to implement relevant safety recommendations in the wake of 4 event fatalities.
New look, new date, heralding a new era. The country's most renowned tarmac rally is making a comeback after a 2-year hiatus.
Overwhelming. The phone has been melting today. Competitors wanting to talk about rules and regulations, to which I say, let us catch our breath.
Target Tasmania has been given a reboot. The 6-day event will move from its traditional April-May time slot to November next year and will start in Hobart, travel to Devonport for its first overnight stop before finishing in Launceston.
Hopefully the better time of the year, better weather, better roads will give the event a successful future.
Tourism operators are welcoming its revival. The event's cancellation hit the sector hard, with the flow-on effects to Tasmania's economy estimated at between $8 and $10 million a year.
Events that are returning into our visitor economy are just that extra confidence boost that we need as we head into next year.
Organisers were forced to hit pause following the deaths of 4 competitors in crashes across 2021 and 2022, a review into the safety of the rally and a coroner's inquest into the fatalities.
Tragedies of 2021 and 2022 took its toll on everybody in the target community, everybody in Tasmania. We supported the coronial inquest.
The coronial findings are yet to be handed down, but the state government says it will continue to work with organisers pending the outcome and any recommendations.
The people who engage in Target, who participate in Target, understand there are risks. We need to mitigate those risks where we can, but this is an iconic motorsport event for our state.
The iconic rally finally back on track. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
An all-ages friendly playground is hoping to inspire the people of Lindisfarne to get outside and be active. The facility officially opening today with some neighbouring seniors, some of the first to try it out.
Pumping and pedalling. This exercise park designed with seniors in mind, a first of its kind for the state.
It makes everybody meet up together and be happy together.
The new outdoor space just as much for the brain as it is for the body, offering a range of different equipment to improve balance, strength and mobility to people of all ages.
It's building capacity, but it's also doing things that it's larger than just the exercise. It's actually connecting with community as well. So it gives older people a purpose.
While spaces like this are a good start, aged care groups say there's strong demand for a more well-rounded approach to supporting Tasmania's ageing community.
Cost is a really big barrier, and when you have a fixed income as you get older, that can also mean that you can't access those sorts of things. So I think making sure that there's things in local communities that are low and no cost, and that coupled with the preventative healthcare measures as well.
Well, it is officially called a senior exercise park. There's a focus on getting all members in the community out here and more active. And trust me, some of this equipment will definitely make me sweaty as well.
We want to be inclusive for all age groups and all demographics here in Clarence, and there definitely was a need for a seniors exercise park.
Creating an age-friendly playground for the young at heart. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian athlete Dylan Goss has officially marked halfway in his 1,300-kilometre run across the state. He is now aiming to double his goal to $22,000 for mental health charity Stay Chatty after reaching his fundraising target just one day in.
You can't really train for something like this, but it just comes back to my why and why I'm doing it, and it's all for spreading awareness on positive mental health.
He now heads towards Buckland, Swansea and Launceston before finishing his journey in Devonport. Tasmania's arts sector is getting a welcomed cash splash from the state government to help prop up the struggling sector. An extra $600,000 is being invested to support regional artists, including support for a Readers and Writers Festival in 2026.
And pandemic did hit our live musicians quite hard, so we want to see that, we want to rebuild that.
It's on top of the $1.3 million annual funding round, which Van Diemen's Band says strikes the right note.
We could not function without this funding actually. It's absolutely vital for our existence.
Mudlark Theatre in Launceston and the Drill Performance Company were among the 10 recipients of the program. The strength and resilience of victim survivors of sexual and institutional abuse have been acknowledged for the 3rd annual National Survivors Day. Advocates hope the day will help others feel able to tell their stories.
The Royal Commission, in its findings, said that 6 out of 7 Australians are still not coming forward or haven't come forward.
But it's also really important to generate the conversation and get those difficult conversations happening and raise awareness about what support networks are out there for people.
Launceston City Council marking the day by becoming the state's first to sign a commitment to the safety of children and young people. As Tasmania looks to cement its reputation as a golfing destination, more courses are starting to take shape. Works are also well underway on the Launceston Country Club's 18-hole mini golf course, which is designed to replicate the adjacent green.
This covers everybody, so this is something for everybody. Families, date nights, tourists, everybody will have a wild time here.
Probably looks trickier than it is with a lot of rock and timber around the place, but I can assure you there's a few hole-in-one opportunities out there because I've learnt that people really love making the hole-in-ones and screaming and making some noise.
The course is expected to be in full swing by April next year.
Hobart Hurricanes' new overseas signing, Susie Bates, has touched down in the state this morning. Flying in from New Zealand, the keen batter says she's flexible in her role and is happy to be placed anywhere in the lineup.
They've got a great list. Heather Graham's on fire as well, and I've played with her a bit in the past, so yeah, just excited to see what we can do at the back end.
Bates will watch from the sidelines during tomorrow night's game, before replacing Danny Wyatt-Hodge for the last 3 matchups of the season, plus finals if the team qualifies.
Good evening. Hobart 23 today, Launceston 24, while 19 was the top in Devonport and Burnie. Lyawini the low with -2, while Ouse warmed up to 27 this afternoon. Bushy Park reached 25, Grove and Flinders Island 24, Lowhead and King Island 20, Lyawini and Strawn 19. Scattered cloud today over Bass Strait, but most of the state fairly clear of cloud this afternoon. Now that large area of thunderstorms continues over the mainland from the Kimberley region through the Territory to northern New South Wales. Some more over southern New South Wales as well. Tomorrow a cold front approaches western Tasmania while troughs extend across the continent. The winds will shift from northwest to be southwest generally at 10 to 20 knots, but stronger over the east and south. That's where we have a strong wind warning that's been issued for waters from Flinders Island down to southeast Cape. Hobart tomorrow 21 with a shower or two, 19 for Geeveston and Bothwell with showers on the way, pretty much the same right around the state in fact. Launceston 25 with a shower, showers clearing from Devonport and 24 the high for Cressy. Burnie tomorrow 21 with a morning shower, showers easing from Strawn, 17 the maximum, 18 for Curry, and for St Helens a high of 24 with showers increasing in the afternoon, showers for Swansea 23 and for Orford 21. On to Thursday now, a few showers over the west and northeast of the state, partly cloudy and mostly fine on Friday apart from a shower about the northeast, and on Saturday showers for the north otherwise fine and then showers developing elsewhere later. Warm and sunny in Perth tomorrow, partly cloudy in Adelaide, showers and 20 degrees on the way for Melbourne, showers developing in Sydney and increasing over Brisbane, a sunny 36 for Darwin. And quite sunny at the moment still, 18 degrees in Hobart, 21 in Launceston, and right now it's 18 in Devonport. Bit of a change on the way, Kim. Those northwesterly winds will be cold to southwesterly and a bit of rain on the way, which we do need.
We do. It's a bit fickle though, isn't it, the old weather? Thanks, Murph.